2 topics left. Our
Is anybody else reading the chat?
I've been bouncing back and
Where
forth
is
to
the
there.
chat?
It's on
Where
YouTube.
is it?
Yeah, if you go to discjockeynews.com/live, that pops you right to the YouTube channel, and that's where the chat is. It's been pretty busy, so we're thanking you guys. Oh, hey, there we go. Yep, that's where they've been talking about a lot of the songs. Last one, we've got our second to last one, exit plan, and we talked a little bit about this earlier, but for DJs, is having an exit plan?
Oops, sorry, guys.
Is it what?
Sorry about that.
Okay. Is exit plan important? And if so, what are the components of an exit plan? So Mitch kind of threw it out there that having an exit plan is pretty important. So maybe we should just focus on the components of it, because I think that he kind of made that argument for us already. So if you are going to be getting out of the business, and Anthony, this one you probably aren't going to be able to participate, but for the rest of us, if we were going to be getting out of the business, say we wanted to be out in 10 years, what are some of the things that we would need to be doing to get ready for that? Dave, I'm going to start with you because I know Mitch is going to have a few things lined up for that. So I'm going to start with you, Dave, and I'm going to go Dave, Arturo, and then James, Mitch. That'll be our route. So go ahead, Dave. What are some things that would need to be? Just a couple for us.
As it currently stands, I'm going to die with my DJ business.
That's an exit plan. That's called the shovel and dirt method of getting out of it.
Yeah, no, I'm probably like a lot of guys out there, and I'm going to very much empathize and look forward to what Mitch has to say. But I'm one of the guys out there that has no exit plan per se, aside from the fact that I'm simply going to do this until I can. And there's a pile of other things I'd love to do in life. So I guess it depends if an exit plan hits me before I say yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have my eye on other things I'd like to do in life, maybe that don't require the physical requirements of what we do or the time requirements that we do. So maybe in that sense, Mitch will tell me I do have an exit plan, but nothing formal, nothing written down.
Gotcha. Yeah, probably not. No, you don't. You don't. Arturo, what are your thoughts with an exit plan? What have you? Some of the components of that, or have you done anything with that or thought about that?
Well, believe it or not, it's the first time I'm hearing of it, I have children that are teenagers now, and eventually if I get out of it, it's going to go to them,
Sure.
I got a lot of stuff in the garage, and this is the first time, I'm starting to think now, maybe I should have one, because the wife hates it, she hates it. But let me get started because she's right here in front of me. But thing is, maybe just give it to my children and then move on,
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, that does definitely becomes a plausible plan. Because I mean, at one time that was one of my thoughts too, and then I found out my kids don't care to DJ. But that's another story for another time. James.
Well, originally I was thinking like a Thelma and Louise ending where I go off the cliff in my van, with all the gear in it. But no, I think what I'm going to do. Oh my God. What I'm going to do is when I get to the point where it's just like a little too much, what I'll do is just raise my prices up to where they're astronomical. And if somebody does want me to DJ, it's worth all the effort.
Cool. Mitch, you've got some thoughts on exit plans?
Yeah. First off, I would argue that if you're like Dave, if you're watching this video and you're like Dave and you have a lot that you want to do after DJing, you absolutely need an exit plan now, in my opinion, because you need to know where you're going next and what do you want to do. Life is too short, man. And for me, this was fellow Disc Jockey News columnist Mike Walter. And when I first started Tailored Entertainment, I chose Tailored Entertainment because just in case I ever wanted to take my single out DJ service and turn it multi-talent, I could. I wasn't tied to just Mitch's music service or whatever, that kind of thing.
Right.
And so reality at that point, I'm also a big believer in leaving an area better than when you found it. And so that was part of the reason for me to expand Tailored Weddings and start hiring talent. And from the standpoint of the exit plan, your business needs to be able to survive without you. If you can't take yourself out of the business and let it run without you for, I would dare say, 2 or 3 months at least, then you're not to the point where you can. A great book to read on this subject is The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. If you haven't read that, I definitely recommend you reading it. I need to read it again. It's been a while since I've read it. but I would encourage you to do so. Exit plans, you need to know what your business is valuated at. And I've never bought and sold a DJ business yet. I hope to with Tailored Weddings. I'm moving in that direction. My exit plan right now is planned for about a decade from now. Once my kids get out of, my daughter graduates high school, the plan is to hopefully, depending on how the market is, retire at that point, and travel and do the speaking thing that I've already embarked on and kind of been ramping up as of late. So absolutely, you should have an exit plan and know where you want to go. If you don't know where you want to go, just like you hopping in a car and without a roadmap and without being able to use Google Maps and know where the heck you're going. Where are you going in your business? What's your exit plan?
So I would go as far, Mitch, and you're kind of getting that at the same places. The exit plan and what I did when I started Soundforce is I put together the business plan, and the exit plan was part of the business plan. It was kind of and the appendix of it, we'll call it. But the idea was to build Soundforce up to get it to a point and have it so it would become something that could be sold. And we followed that progression very well. And actually, we had an offer one time from an outside company that wanted to come and buy us. And at that time, the greatest asset that we had that they were looking for was, and this is going to date us, was our 800 phone number. Our 800 phone number was leading to anywhere from 20 to 30 calls within, there were some days we were getting 40 calls a day. It was incredible at that time. It was the numbers of calls and such. It was crazy. That day, because of these things, that 800 number became completely obsolete. We had an offer at that time for I think $120,000. Somebody had offered to buy that 800 number from us at that time. Oh no, it's worth much more than that. Yeah, well, I should have sold it back then, but
ran to the bank.
So, Dave, what do you got?
Right, wrong, or otherwise, I suppose the reason I haven't given it as much formulated thought as far as selling my company and so on and so forth is I really look at myself and what I do as a performing artist.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, if Russell Crowe breaks his leg, he has no contingency plan for who's going to replace him for 3 months.
Very true. Very true.
Now, obviously, if I break my leg, my couples would like me to have a plan. I get that. And come hell or high water, I'm going to be at those events doing my best. And if I can't be, I'll fly one of the many colleagues I know in the area or drive, whatever the case may be. And so I guess for that reason, the whole idea of selling a company and so on and so forth, I appreciate that business model. But I think it's maybe the minority in the DJ world, and the minority in the performance acting singer world. Not to say those people don't have business plans or exit plans, I should say, but just some thoughts.
Dave, I absolutely understand where you're coming from. I used to be very much same mindset. I don't want to go too deep here, but the reality for me is, again, leaving a place better than when I found it. And the reality is, if I closed up Tailored Weddings tomorrow and didn't have someone to sell it to or staff to turn it over to, and the reality is that it kind of goes back to what we had before.
See, that's not true. Every time I go out and I perform at an event, I've left those people slightly better than when I found them.
Agreed.
And of course, the situation.
But does the general public have you as an option anymore once you remove yourself from it?
Due to my wife's work, I'll be moving every number of years anyway, so maybe that's why I think about this differently.
Okay,
that makes sense.
We've had that conversation.
Yeah.
So maybe that's my point of view on that, or where it comes from anyway. Like I said, right, wrong, or otherwise.
And I think that's the thing is, as we're seeing even in the chat board, there's going to be a variety of different things. Ideally, in a perfect world, we're back in a perfect world. Yes, you want to have a business plan. Yes, you want to have that, but there are other ways to get things done. May not be as right as other ways, but at the end of the day, it's really about keeping our customers happy and building those relationships and making money. So, guys, we need to get on to our last topic of the night.